live. Welcome. I'm Danielle Kane, and this is 5D All Day on Spirit Calling. And I am here today with our beautiful community where we get to kind of talk about whatever actually is being called. And I have a couple ideas today, but we have some new people here joining us, and I can't wait to learn a little bit more about them, how they came to this spirit calling in general, but their spiritual awakening. So I'm going to go around each person and then kind of circle back to myself, and then we'll go from there. So welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Hello. Yay, yay. Well, I did chat a little bit with Melissa. So, Melissa, welcome. I know that you are new to this group, so I'd love to hear a little bit more about you and how you came to Spirit Calling and about your journey in general.
Thank you. So yeah, what I was saying is I'm an animal communicator, nature communicator, I guess, also. And I recently moved and I'm living on a lovely, beautiful river called the Russian River and kind of near the coast in California. And just feeling really blessed to be here and amongst you can't see the rest, but I'm on the river, so it's lovely. And COVID brought me to this.
Yes.
I was living here, and my business was failing because I was boarding dogs, training dogs, walking dogs, and of course, everybody was home, not traveling through COVID. And I had been dabbling with spirituality and different aspects up until that point, and then I delved deeper because that's what was happening. And, discovered that, yes, I can talk to animals. And wow, that's a crazy cool thing. And, it's just brought me so much pleasure and joy and discovery too. So I'm still very much expanding my interests and exploring my talents and looking for my purpose work on the daily and just wanting to be the best version of me. So yeah, I,
I
I have
love it.
I have a an ex that I'm living with and we're living very consciously together, which is also great. Really working hard on codependency or lack of codependency in our relationship, which has been amazing, really. She's recently gotten out of rehab. Um, so it was a little like, oh God, I don't know how this is gonna work out. But it's honestly been working out amazingly. So it's not to say there won't be hard days, but to this point it's actually been really wonderful. And I'm just grateful. So thank you. Thank you,
You're
everyone.
welcome. I love what you had to say too, because I feel like many of us have COVID kind of had to that catalyst to exploration and change. And then not only that, revisiting other
Yeah,
relationships again and giving that a go around. A lot of what I wanted to talk today is about things coming back, things that were challenges that are coming back in our life, and how are we managing that? And I loved what you had to say. So thank you so much.
thank you.
For those that just jumped in, we're just going to go around and make an introduction about how we came to be with Spirit Calling and just your spiritual awakening or just your journey. So I'm going to get into all the new people, if you don't mind, first that have never been on this call. So I'm going to go to Sam next. Welcome. And if you can find your mute button, sometimes it's hard on a phone. And if you're not, oh, perfect.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks. I just joined like 2 days ago and just saw some of the YouTube videos and was really looking for the past few weeks. This term has been echoing in my brain where I need soul skills. Those are the two words. And I thought, oh, this is a good match. Um, so joined a couple days ago and just looking forward to figuring out what my next stage is. I'm a clinical social worker, just retired 2 years ago after 33-year career running a domestic violence intervention program. And really, my sort of spiritual psychic awakening occurred in my, I'd say 19 to my early 20s,
Mm,
where I got into um, the Jane Roberts Seth material and joined a kind of a community holistic healing and ended up dating a woman whose mom was a trance medium, and that was fun.
That's
Whenever we had issues in the relationship, she would go to her mom, and I'd get a printout of a reading from her source or her channeled message, which was kind of amusing to me. um, but anyway, cut to 30 years later, after raising three kids and being married and dealing with home ownership and career, I'm turning back to my spiritual journey and looking forward to the next steps. So,
awesome. Well, welcome. I love your story and thanks again for sharing. It seems like you've been on the journey and now it's like, okay, something's nudging you to go a little bit deeper into it. So I love that. I love that. Joe, welcome. Tell us a
Hi,
little bit about you.
can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I don't know how to answer the question, so I'm gonna give it a stab.
Yeah, please.
Um, so a spiritual awakening, I'm gonna say 1984,
Hmm.
a long time ago, and I don't know. It depends what your definition of spiritual awakening is, but I went from not knowing to knowing in my early 20s. And I've been on the spiritual path ever since, on and off. I'm an organizational culture change consultant. I work in organizations helping to improve performance by working on the stuff. So I've been sort of like my clients don't know that I'm, working on the evolution of consciousness or injecting love into the workplace, but that's what I've been doing, by stealth.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. Why am I here? I don't know. The truth is there was something in Pamela's voice. I'm an auditory. I judge a lot based on sound, energy, and there's something about the voice. I don't know and I told her this briefly the other day on an email exchange I had with her. There's something about the voice that just drew me in, and I don't even know what this is. I've committed to a 3-month thing. I have no idea what it is, but here I am diving
Because
in.
you're trusting. That's what it is. I mean, you've known all this time. Like, I hate to call it a spiritual awakening sometimes because some people are just,
I know.
just who they are.
I kind of hate the term because people mean that means I don't know, it means a lot of different things to different people.
Yeah.
And I tried to have a very grounded approach to my spiritual life. I don't talk about it. I'm not very new agey in my language. I just try to mostly in my work to live a life where I'm trying to bring love to the workplace, particularly in environments. I work in a lot of my clients are in heavy industry, so I'm working in a very dense 3D space. Um, and so here's maybe one of the reasons why I'm here. Maybe there's something else I'm meant to do when I grow up.
Hmm.
So I'm grappling with what's next for me. Is it keeping doing what I'm doing by evolving it, by innovating, by whatever, or am I sunsetting what I'm doing and evolving into something else? I'm kind of in between lives right now in many ways.
I just had this like intuitive thought that like these are like council meetings, you know? Like here we are all coming together trying to figure out what our next step is. So
I
that's
have no
good.
idea.
I
I
don't
have no
either.
idea. There's so
That's the
much
best part.
certainty missing in every area of my life, and I think that's kind of perfect and kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you showed up today and thank you for
Well,
Pamela gave me this platform. I have no background experience. I had a channel for a year called The Conscious Broadcast where I just started talking to people. And she's just said, you could do 5D all day. I just wanted to have high vibing conversations. And here I've been doing this for how many years now? 2 years, a little over 2 years. We've been having these conversations and they've grown and I just show up. That's what I do. So thank you.
welcome.
Sometimes it's just doing that. All right, Tina Marie, my friend, please give us a little intro. What's going on with you?
Oh my gosh. Where to begin? You know what? I won't go too far back. I channel, uh, and I do all kinds of things, but I do. It's interesting that you said, Joe, that you are coming up on your next phase. And it's funny because I literally just wrote that today on a new piece that I had put together, a new transmission that I've put together, because I feel like I started a long time ago. I've been channeling out loud since 2004. And then there was this whole big ride on that with everything that needed to occur. And I expressed it in all the ways that I possibly could. And then there was this kind of this quiet step back almost. I still stayed in, I still stayed tapped in, I still stayed connected, and had private sessions, and I knew that I was waiting for that next phase. The same words you just used. So I knew I was waiting for that, and then it kicked in. It kicked in big time. It kicked in, I'm going to say about a year, 2 years ago. And it's just been unfolding, unfolding, unfolding. And it's that next phase is me assisting people go through the transformation and new earth and the new earth frequency, your 5D all day. That called me right in, because that's what it's all about, is really being able to connect with that and keep it anchored in. But yeah.
Thank you. That's
So
beautiful.
I met Pamela though through Dina. Dina and I were working together. And so she introduced me to Pamela, and it was, of course, love at first sight.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I mean, it's a perfect segue. Can I just pass it off to Dina now? Go ahead, Dina.
Yeah.
Sure. Um, yeah, so Tina Marie and I go back before I knew Pamela. And I worked with her. I started I've always been very tapped in, very intuitive. My mother was very much so, and my aunt. So, but then I got in my career, I'm an executive chief marketing officer, high stress, high this, high that. And I kind of got away from it. And then in 2021, it hit like a ton of bricks out of nowhere. And I didn't know what was happening. I was like, whoa, all I wanted to do was read and learn. And it was like a light switch turned on. And I was like, I was called to do this. And I reached out to someone that I knew that introduced me to Tina Marie. And then Tina Marie and I had several sessions together. She introduced me to some guides. And from there, it just kept growing. And then I also heard Pamela on a podcast, and Joe, same thing. It was voice, like something. I heard her. I mean, I've listened to zillions of podcasts, and I just something about her, and she was with another partner at the time, and I not at all drawn that. I was only drawn to Pamela, and after I listened to that podcast, I literally was kept up at night, spirit calling, spirit calling, spirit calling. It would not stop. I almost thought I was losing my mind. Finally, I went on the website and I connected, and I just joined the group, and I was there to explore and learn like everyone. And a very strange thing happened. Pamela, I all of a sudden felt I was not aligned with my job, and I decided to just not renew my contract. And that same day, Pamela's partner told her she was going to take a different path. And Pamela and I ended up talking, and we talked for 3 hours. And it was like we knew each other our whole lives. And, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why? That's so strange. There's such a familiarity. And, of course, she went back and she checked in with the council. Like, she did a whole reading on me with the council, and the council specifically said we were meant to meet at this time to work together on spirit calling and take it forward, that we had tried to do it several times in our past or alternate lives. Clearly, must have not worked out, or we didn't do it right. And we're here to do it again. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Needless to say, we've been very, very, very close since then, and we've been working together the past 2 years on spirit calling. And I was told I needed to bring Tina Marie in. Like, I just was like, Pamela, you have to meet Tina Marie. I don't know why. I'm kind of a connector. I'm like, you need to meet Tina Marie. And so Tina Marie came in, and Pamela went through a kind of an interesting experience through her evolution. And Tina, being as experienced as she is, was one of the only practitioners was able to kind of help Pamela through that time. So it's we're all here for a purpose, is the point. We've all been drawn here for a reason. It is not happenstance by any means whatsoever. And I'm kind of at this phase now of, kind of like where you are, Joe. Do I keep doing what I'm doing in the corporate world where I bring love into the workplace? Like that has been my whole mantra, my whole career. Or am I ready for another step? And I feel like there's a new phase unfolding. I don't know what that means yet, but I'm here to explore and build this amazing community. And we're on this journey together. So it's been amazing and working with people like, Tina Marie, Danielle, and Nicole, who's also amazing. So welcome to you all. You're here for a reason. And I think you're going to see it's an amazing group.
Yes. I love that. Thank you, Tina. Or Dina. Sorry, Tina.
Yeah, Tinas and Dinas, I know.
All right, I'm going to jump over to Michael. How you
Hi.
doing, my friend? Number threes.
Yeah, okay. I came here in August of 2024, and I was suffering a lot of pain back then. So and I was also looking for a spiritual group back in 2024. And my theme last year was leading from the heart. And the reason why she said 333, because I saw 333 for 3 years, from 2021 or 2020 till like 2023, and even after that. Um, so I quit my job in 2020, and because it just didn't resonate with me anymore, and it was like if I stay here, I'm going to die here, sort of thing. And then I started getting into ancient history, or like Diluvian stuff, like ancient civilizations. And I was getting into Gaia and all that stuff. And then um, when um, my wife passed away in 2023, so I went through a lot of pain because I have a lot of chronic illnesses. And so after 20 into 2024, I started meditating, and um, it started like it. My chronic illnesses, I would say, would be like messages from my higher self is that you're not on the right path. And when I hold in anger,
Mm.
it generates more chronic illnesses. So I had no choice. Like I can't be made afraid or generate anger. If I do that, if I grip onto that luxury of anger and a pain, anger, and um, I will generate another chronic illness.
Mm.
From 2020 till now, it's been like a slow push or towards spirituality. And last year when I started meditating, I started dreaming about cobalt blue, and then I went to see a medium about my late wife, and Archangel Michael was there, and he has cobalt blue. And then I started to get all these synchronicities again and stuff like, and now it's generating into other things that's happening. And so, and I joined Spirit Calling just because I want to spread as much positive energy as possible. And my purpose in life, per se, and screams that in my all my esoteric stuff, is that I'm supposed to lead during a crisis. So
Mm.
I've been doing a lot of crisis training in my other jobs throughout the past 20 years or so in my work. And so, like, and I'm like a manifester in human design, and that's what it says in human design. And it says this in my gene keys. It says this in my astrology. And I have connections to Egypt and Atlantis. And I go, and what the F is going on here? So I was like, it's getting deeper and deeper all the time. So I was like, whatever. I'm just here for
Yeah.
the ride, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
love what you always bring. You bring a lot of information. So if you see
Yeah.
Michael always posts stuff. I appreciate all that you do because I find it very fascinating. I'm always like, I want to watch that video. And you said cobalt blue, and I watched something on Tartaria channel too, that they took away all the glass. So cobalt, we used to drink a lot from
Oh,
that, and
yeah.
that was very healing. And
Tartania.
Yeah, a Tartania channel. Nicole, I think you might be on that one on Telegram. But there, I love watching this one guy who runs the channel, and he was talking about the cobalt and how healing it is. I think it offers like B12 properties and things like that. So anyway, there's something there. Also, it's
Yeah,
ironic,
that's cool.
why it might be effective. Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so
Yeah.
much for that
Thanks.
introduction. We're so
You know
glad to
what,
have you.
Michael, you forgot to say, because this is interesting. Everyone's like, I don't know why I'm here. And I'm like, nobody is here, by happenstance. So a few days before Michael joined, Pamela called me and she said, "What is PE? Do you know?" I was her Prince Edward Island. Is that really a place? Have you ever heard of it? And I'm like, I've heard of it. It's a real place. She's like, it just came to me, Prince Edward Island, Prince Edward Island. I'm like, well, it must mean something. And then literally like 4 days later, Michael comes in and says, I'm from Prince Edward Island. And we were like, that was it. So it's
There's no
nobody is
coincidences. I
no
don't believe that
Well,
coincidence.
anymore.
I didn't want to take up too much time, so I didn't get to that story.
Well, that's a key, it's a key point is everyone's like, why am I here? I never would have thought I would have been here, but I'm here. We're
Well,
all
you see, I visualize a lighthouse with shining out a cobalt blue light, and that's trying to attract in like beings or like people, and that's what I was doing by attracting in Pam. That's why that happened, right? I was just trying
Mhm.
to, yeah,
So amazing
it's
how
just
we've
a
all
cool
found
thing.
each other.
It's a cool
yeah,
thing. It all happens for
yeah.
a reason, right?
All right, this is so interestingly, I am really good friends with Nicole. We actually met trying to have these kind of conversations. So welcome, Nicole. Please share a little bit about yourself as well.
Thank you very much. This has been great hearing everyone's story. It's kind of nice to go at the end, actually, because I can really hear throughout everyone's stories the connections of what we're going through, how we're like just finding different pieces of our souls and finding that through each other. I'm finding is really the biggest key. That's what I love so much about Spirit Calling is it really affirms where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm going through shifts and change, looking for that next phase, and it really just I I'm not alone, because we're going through this together and we have done this before. I truly believe that in other parallel lives. So it's just nice to rejoin with the family. So anyway, I have been a part of Spirit Calling for about 2 years now. Also, seems like it's about the same time we were all going through, like I said, about the same things where we're like questioning and yearning and wanting, and we were able to attract and find each other, which is amazing. And Danielle and I knew each other prior to this, and we're making regular high vibe calls. And I feel like, kind of manifested in a way more of this, which is what we're doing together. We're manifesting more. The more of us come together, we're manifesting more of us are coming together. It's really amazing to see our numbers grow, our conversations expanding. We're talking about coming together in the physical. Like, this is exactly the kinds of things that need to be happening at this exact time. So I feel like this is obviously we're awakened for so long that we're just following our heart, and that's the best thing we can do. I feel like I've been kind of awake my whole journey, but really just having bits and pieces of what that means for me and my soul purpose. Because I feel like throughout the journey that I've had, it's always spreading love and high vibes. But what that could look like, I feel like, is changing on how I bring that to the world. Something that was super passionate to me, as you all know, is my regular mass meditations. And this is actually kind of a new thing for me to talk about that I'm going through as a shift, like in real time. It's just not as aligning for me. And I feel like I can do something more or different, which I've been doing that for 9 years straight, every single month without missing. So for me to realize that I'm now missing those months, if you will, it's kind of like setting a space for me to look back and realize, okay, what do I want to do at this time? Where's my intention right now? And so the new phase, I don't know what that looks like. And it has a little undertone of scary, if you will, because we don't know the future. And that's where fear comes from. And so it's exciting, though, to know that we are all kind of doing this together. And I know something will spark new that will be even more grand. And I'm trusting that. And it's just nice to know that we can all be on this journey together and find more and more people to amplify our numbers, because it's all about amplification and energy and vibration and frequency. And that comes more with more, so we're magnetizing and manifesting it all in real time, which is really cool to see.
Absolutely. That's lovely. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Yes,
Oh
thank
my
you.
goodness. Well, I mean, I even found Pamela. I'll tell my story really quickly. I own a gym in South Jersey, and Pamela lived in a town nearby, and she had once tried to join and then wasn't quite ready at the time, and then came another time and walked into our facility and noticed that we had an altar, which you don't really see in a gym. And she's like, "What is this?" And she started talking to my husband, Brian, and then she talked about how I do quantum healing hypnosis and just my journey. And she's like, "Oh my God, we have to meet." And I ended up training her. And then she's like, "You got to join Spirit Calling." But I didn't understand what Spirit Calling was. I'm like, "Was it a website? What is it?" It was right in the beginning. So I've been with her for, I guess, a little bit over 3 years now when it's been created. And so I jumped on and then I quickly saw what she was growing. I mean, I could visualize it. It was more of a fifth dimensional concept in my mind where I saw really what I felt was going to be how we report news, like how we saw the world. And I would have visuals about it. And she's like, and I told her I want to have these conversations. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to be a concierge. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I feel like I'm supposed to be a connector. And someone had said that earlier. I think it was you, Nicole. Like, I'm just here to like have these people have these conversations. And I have to be okay with that. Sometimes I feel like, is that enough? Is that enough to be part of spirituality? It's not like I'm a healer over here and changing somebody's life, but I feel the most comfortable seeing everybody here and sharing and talking because that elevates all of us to some type of aha moment or that next step. It's like kind of figuring it out through these conversations, like we were talking about, the vibration of what we bring today has transformed so many of us, and me included. So that's a little bit about my story. I would like to propose, and if this goes somewhere else, that's totally fine. But I'm personally going through some things, like a kind of like a circling of some fears, maybe, or it's just like a point in my life. Like, I don't want my life being like this. I don't like the waves of my life sometimes, especially in the financial realm. And I'm a number 8, and 8's all about finances, apparently. And it's trying to manage how I trust, I guess, trust in the universe. And I've had to go back and listen to some things specifically to wrap my mind around not being fearful and knowing that I'm held. The universe has got me and I'm going to be okay. But a lot of that surrendering, I guess I'm back to surrender. I'm back to what's already in store for me. And what I've had to do is kind of just start having conversations, knowing that everything's taken care of. But for me, I wanted to start like, I got to find another job. I want to do this. I want to be so extreme in trying to problem solve that doesn't seem to be the solution for me. So that's what I'm experiencing. I don't know if anyone can relate to that or have anything to say upon that, but that's kind of where I am. I'm at like a bottom part of the wave, and I feel like I want to do something extreme outside my body and figure it out. But I'm kind of just like, I think I just need to just be patient.
Yeah. You know what, Danielle, I mean, honestly, I have found that when you're in the bottom of the wave, that's when things are happening and that something's about to break or move or shift. And it's happened in my life a lot. It just happened just the last week or so with the situation with Pamela and I. It's like you get there and you're just like, oh my God, what is going on? And then all of a sudden it just pushes you through to another place.
Yeah.
So I think we've all experienced that. It's just, it's hard while you're in the
Yeah.
valley waiting and you're like, what should I do? Should I plan? Should I move forward? Or should I just be present?
Yeah.
It's really hard. So I feel like you're probably on the precipice of something else
Yeah.
that is
I
probably,
definitely can agree with that. That's kind of what I was saying with like this new phase. I don't really know what it looks like. It's like wow, hold on. I just had a crazy realization. It's like a death and a rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had a death in my family in terms of my animals. I can't really even talk about it. It just happened a few days ago. And everything I feel like the last time this happened, it was a death and a rebirth
Mm-hmm.
on different scales, micro, macro. And I literally just felt that and saw that on multiple timelines right that very second. Sorry, that just brought through emotion, but
So glad you.
I trust that and I believe that space. So
Yeah.
thank you for allowing me to have that clarity right there.
It's
you.
it's true. I mean, Nicole,
just like
I
to
went through the
share.
same thing, had an animal shift, and I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Melissa. Sorry. Was that Melissa?
So
Or Tina Marie?
there's so many things and there's so many things packed in all of that, and
Yeah.
it's all beautiful. I would like to say that in reviewing my life's journey, I found that every single experience is leading to what we're experiencing today. And what I mean by that, like I went through the dark night of the soul many moons ago, and if you and it is exactly that. It is this letting go, and it is a death of how things were. The reason why that's happening, though, is because we are shifting into a new dimension, a new frequency, where all the ways that you used to do stuff, all you can do is, it's not going to work exactly the same way, but all you can do is extrapolate what are the actual gifts, or what are the exact the skills that I can take from that. So, for example, if you feel like when we're shifting through all of this right now, it will feel like a death because everything is finished. This program, this hologram, this system is done. It's finished. And that means there's going to be a big leap of faith. And that's all we do is we continue with a leap of faith. We go within because it's not about the external world and what that's reflecting. It's always about what's going on within us. And then how do we just pull from those strengths that we've accumulated along the way on all of those really topsy-turvy roads? And that's exactly where we are right now. That's why it feels like the next phase is pending, because it is. We're like right in the middle of traversing this next phase. And it's fantastic because we're all doing it together. We're all here right now, moving through it together.
Love that.
Absolutely.
You just reminded me of like an obstacle course where we're all kind of like trying to figure out like how are we going to get from this post to that post.
Right.
It's like about traversing through it, and
Yeah.
I love your wisdom about it all, because even like you said, Nicole, like sometimes the things that we dwell on are just like distractions anyway, and then forgetting
Right.
everything, like you said, Tina Marie, external. It's time to pull in to see what you need to do inside, and it's all there.
And the
Yeah.
external is reflecting it back to us, actually. The
Right.
external is like, oh, because by the way, we're creating all of this anyway, right?
Right.
Exactly.
So
I
it's,
wanted to, sorry, I
Yeah,
was going to
please.
mention I've been reading, I guess more like reading slash listening to this audiobook, and it's kind of spot on right now with like just coming into clarity with everything. Like really ask yourself, what do you want? Where do you want to be in a week, in a month, in a year, wherever? Because it's like that, your vision boards, like really visualizing, getting in tune with what you want. And that's something that I'm really working on myself, separating the programs and the things that no longer serve the program anymore, that I'm shifting into new, coming into true clarity with my heart, my mind, my soul, my everything, not just like influences or what feels good in the moment, but like true, pure like passion, what gives me joy. And I'm really, really trying to tap into that clarity so that it all does align, because I know there's work going on the energetic realms right now, and it's just playing on into the physical of how that's going to look. And that's where the crossroad is. But I really I feel that shift right now. And it's nice to, like I said, not be alone and have these conversations regularly. It always reaffirms we're right where we need to be.
It's nice to know that we're all in this together. Melissa, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in and jump on what Tina Marie had said about um, something for me, because just like y'all moving through transitions, what's the next thing? What am I here to do? All that. Um, but for me, it kind of helped, and maybe this will help you a little. I don't know. Just as you said, like checking in with internal, then, what are my real wants and desires? But then it's like, what gets me excited, and what signs and symbols am I seeing to, like, follow internally with, like, where's my excitement lead me? And then, yeah, what signs are coming to me, and trusting in those different signs that come to you. They're sort of like spurring you down your path. So,
I
Mm.
yeah,
bet you get a lot of really cool signs from animals too, because you
yeah,
communicate with
I
them.
just
I
saw
mean, and they've got no ego involved,
exactly
they're just
here.
pure beings. And I bet
Exactly.
you must get a lot of really cool insight from that.
Yeah, I just, big snake. I walked over him, missed him, and my dog was barking insanely. And I was like, "What are you barking?" So I walked and turned around. And I was like, "Oh my God, there's like a 4-foot snake right there." And then I'm sitting here, being quiet, and here comes a deer like 6 feet
Wow.
from me. But yeah, it's very cool. Kind of
I
crazy. I
love
watch
that.
birds too, but I have
Just
a
a moment ago, I think a bird hit your camera.
oh yeah, probably. I think it was a butterfly. But yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
butterfly, yes.
Oh, how-
I'm really right down by the water. And then there's this really funny synchronicity. I put on my glasses like halfway through, like I'd taken them off, and I see everybody's name. And Michael Lapointe, that's the name of my ex-husband. You're not
No.
my
The
husband,
full name?
What?
full name. So
No, you got
That's
to be
crazy.
kidding me.
I was like, what?
Everyone has connections to Michael.
Michael
Oh
Lapointe?
my.
oh
Yeah,
my
Michael
God.
It's
and
crazy. I
Nicole
had
have
to
like the
like
same
look
birthday or something,
I
right?
had to look at you a little bit closer.
Yeah,
Like, are
we have
you
the same birthday,
related?
Nicole and I, and we're both into audio. It's not, there was a Michael Lapointe, it was a senator in the
Oh,
States at one time. It wasn't him?
he's just a normal guy. He lives like somewhere
Jeez.
down south, LA area. Yeah, nice guy. We're friends.
It's not me.
Yeah, no, I know it's not you. I was like, no, no, it's not you. I'm a lesbian now, but we all,
Okay.
foray in other places. But yeah, the one and
Yeah,
only.
we'll drive women crazy. That's true.
Yeah, right. Hysterical. Anyway, sorry to
That,
lead us away, but
no, that's what
it's
this is
so
all
sad.
about. It's never leading away. It's like these are the kind of conversations that light me up because it takes us away from like, are we being proper? Are we saying exactly what we should say? It's like, no, everything that you want to say is what needs to be said. And I loved it. And I feel like, and this could be maybe just there's something nudging me that you need to say to Nicole. I feel like with your animal instincts and Dina working with animals, in the transition. I feel like, do you have anything to
Well,
offer them?
I think what I've learned and my recent readings have taken me into is uh it seems, and I mean we're all going to go, yeah, of course, but I don't know why it hadn't occurred to me before. But animals are with us for a reason, and those specific animals are with us to teach us something. And I would ask each of you to ask yourself, what was that pet, that that family member? Why were they in my life? What were they here to teach me? What were they helping me to see or to be? Because every one of them of late, that's been like the newest thing we delve into is like, what are you here to teach your mom, your dad, your guardian? What are you in their life for? And every one of them has a very direct, distinct answer.
Mm.
And I give it voice, and the recipient is like, whoa, wow, how could you know that? I'm like, your pet told me. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's what I would say. I don't know that helps you. And also, and I'm sure you already know this, they are always with you. They're always around, and um they're also waiting for you too, and when you go and speak to your your spirit guides, at least for me, and I'm betting for you people too. A lot of times my past animals are there to deliver a message. And sometimes something important, and sometimes it's just a good cry, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
they're pure love.
I believe that, Melissa. I think every pet has taught me something, even if they're for a short while. Like we had a rescue for 2 years, and that 2 years, he learned a ton. I learned a ton because he had a traumatic past. There were things we had to deal with, but we got a new puppy who taught him how to play. He didn't know how to play. He didn't know how, he wouldn't lick. He didn't know how to do stairs. Like, I don't know what his story was, but he was dropped off at a lake. And this new little puppy came in and was like, "You're going to play. You're going to learn how to play." And she was relentless. And just watching him learn to play and engage in the love, it was the most
Mm.
beautiful thing ever. And he passed very quickly with congestive heart failure. But the next day, the very next day, she went out into my living room where they used to romp and play together. And she was full on playing with someone.
Aw.
Thing. Like we videotaped it because she was like doing the exact same thing she does with him. And I was like, he's here. And then I meditated the next day and I saw him
Mhm.
coming down and I saw all my other pets
Yeah,
and then they ran off together. And I just, such peace, such peace.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's lovely.
I'm sure Nicole's had similar experiences with her animals, but it's beautiful. They teach us they're unconditional. They're
Yes,
unconditional.
we're very proud to have them.
That's the thing. I'm sure you guys saw, a few of you I know saw the post with the dog, and it just says sometimes, we realize that animals' lives are so short is because they're all about unconditional love and innocence, and they taught so much in that short amount of time. I also believe this true for people that are in line for a disabled body. It's the same thing. They teach so much in such a short amount of time of unconditional love and how to be. And that's exactly what both of those were in my situation, because it was a little baby duck that was disabled, and I hatched her from the incubator, and she had to be separated from the flock because she was disabled. And I spent every day making sure she could eat and drink, and I would, feather her because she couldn't do those things. And she taught me so much. She only lived 7 months, and that was very, very short. But I am so thankful that we both had each other because it was the best experience of my life. And I feel very connected to ducks, and actually wanted to bring this up because it's very strange. I feel very connected to her as well as her dad because I've connected through 222 with him through a lot. So we connect a lot. And yesterday, I wanted to connect with my baby duck that just passed, who I know they're together now. And I just really wanted to connect to her. And my screensaver literally changed to this bird that was the exact same color as her. And it was literally like, I'm right here. And then I also woke up with like this scratch on me. And it literally looks kind of like a baby duck foot if you can kind of like look at it. I'm not even sure how I got this, but it's like all these little things. I'm just like accepting all the messages, all the everything, because I know she's waiting, but I'm also waiting too. And that's the hardest part, is being in the physical dense body.
Yeah. Isn't that
Yeah.
beautiful just how like 7 months and like the deep love that you can experience? I think Joe, you were talking about bringing
Crazy.
love. I mean, that's what we're here to do. I said, I wish there was a way that we could see the transformation, like the actual transformation on a better scale than the leaving that we experience, like the loss. And I think we will. I think we're starting to see that, and this is what these conversations are, because we're remembering that this is just a transformation and not a goodbye.
Well,
Right.
yeah, because it's a shift in perspective. And once you can shift your perspective, you'll see things differently. And so the fact that all that tells me, Nicole, is that they are right there with you, just like Melissa said. They really are right there with you. And it's only because the ability to perceive them hasn't quite shifted into that to see them in that frequency. But if I could say one thing to everyone is like, I've seen it. We make it. We do this. I've seen it. I've been in it. I understand it. I've had my new earth aspect come to me. I know we do this. And it's just a matter of being a little bit more patient and like just staying in your heart and whatever it takes to just stay the kind and loving people that you are, even though there might be a whole bunch of BS going on outside of us. But really, the rest of it that's within us, that's what gets us there. That's what got us there. It's already so. And if I could just share that, and communicate that, then I feel like maybe then, it'll be easier to just wait a little bit more.
Absolutely. I wanted to say, I want to welcome Sophie to the group. If you feel like you can chat and share a little bit, we'd love that. And I think I just let Marie in. And on YouTube, we have Rose and John that have joined us and Pamela. So I want to thank you all for being with us, even though you couldn't be on the call, and welcome. I wanted to say something about what you just said, Tina Marie. Just training at the gym, even though it's a little small space, a lot of these individuals have been with us forever, which is awesome. But everyone comes with their own growth. And so sometimes, I'm just there out of curiosity just to see where they are. And some people can be on one spectrum and the other, whatever it is. But it's nice to start to see that at some point everyone realizes all that is so chaotic anyway, that we all just are kind of the observer of this reality. And that's really promising to me, that people are starting to take a step back. And that's just what I'm seeing in my little world. I don't know how everybody else feels, but it seemed like it was so chaotic and extreme. I'm starting to feel a little bit of a softer tone with people.
Can I just say one last thing
Yeah.
about this? It really is just kind of sitting here, and I feel like I'm gonna think it as I say it, but I feel like, oh man, how do I even say this? With, I've, gosh, sorry, like with near-death experiences or even losing somebody close to you, all these things, for me, in the last couple days, I'm really appreciating the joy for life, appreciating how precious and quick it could really truly go, and how much of a blessing it is to be choosing this vacation of earth, because many incarnations are not always a vacation, and we have that blessing here now. And really, the passing of a physical body just brings so much joy for having the now, being able to experience and be thankful to have this time that we do. So it really does kind of like wake up a joy in a way.
Absolutely.
It's contrast, Nicole. It's the contrast. If we didn't have contrast, it's hard, but it is. It's that contrast between sad, happy, like that we can appreciate the happiness, right? Or we wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it keeps you so present, like you said.
Mhm.
It's like you're
Yeah.
living every moment to the fullest, because you don't know when the time is of that change for you,
Exactly.
for others.
Exactly. Yes.
Absolutely.
Being present
Being present. Yeah. That's the hardest thing sometimes, right?
gets you a reality check when something like this happens, though, and then it seems like the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing else to do, because that's where you're focused. It stops everything else. All the busy work, all the things that we think that we need to do just goes right out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's real.
Can I ask Marie, would you like to tell us a little bit about you? We usually do that in the beginning, but I know you just popped on. I'm so grateful. And then maybe
Yeah.
how you found Spirit Calling.
Well, I'm in Central Time, and I kind of got my time messed up, so I just started about a week ago. Um, my spiritual awakening started happening after my husband passed about 10 years ago, and I kind of had the dark night of the soul per se, and things started really happening. So I've had a few experiences. maybe I can talk about them a little later. So I'm still just taking my baby steps, and every now and then I go down a rabbit hole, and then I find another rabbit hole. So um, I'm just here to learn and to experience.
That's wonderful. I think we all
Mhm.
can relate to you and
Mhm.
everything that you said. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank everybody.
Sophie, are you available? I know you're on, but I don't know if you can chat. If you would like to say anything, we'd love to hear from you.
Mm.
Okay. It's okay. If you can jump in, then jump in. If anybody else, please, we have about 9 minutes left. And I'd love to hear from anyone who's just wants to share anything that's been going on, either what we were talking about or something that's important that you just need to bring out to the community.
I will say I've been in this mode where I want to purge everything. I don't want stuff. I don't, it's the craziest thing because it is not me. I was a kind of a more is more person. And it's the weirdest thing. And I sit and I ask myself, that's so bizarre. But I remember my mother went through this where she used to say, Dina, I want everything white. I don't want any clutter. I don't want anything. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? I don't know if it's a passage of life in a certain way, but all of those things that you strive to achieve and have mean nothing to me anymore. Like I was telling my husband, why don't we just get a tiny house? And he's like, seriously, like, okay, let's slow your roll. But I was like, just a tiny house on a plot of land. He was like, who are you? And it was just, but there's something going on there with it's eliminating the external, right? And I've been feeling it so much. And I'm just curious if anyone else is kind of feeling any of that. Get rid of things. Melissa, yes?
Yeah, all about it. I've moved. I was in this exact spot 3 years ago. Well, almost four now, and got rid of a ton of stuff. Moved to Tennessee. A bunch of my stuff didn't arrive the way it got sent, so I lost a bunch of stuff. And then my parents died. I came back to California, got a bunch of their stuff, shipped it all back to Tennessee, and then broke up with my then partner and was like, yeah, you know what? You can keep it all. I don't, it's just, it's just heavy. And now I'm here, I'm moved, and I have a room full of things, like nothing, whatever. And I have a pod that's packed, and I'm like, I don't even want it. It's crazy. And I come from like near hoarders. So to be saying all this stuff, my mom would be like, blasphemy. I mean, it would be, how could you ever like, how much it took us to collect all this crap. And I'm like, I just don't even, I sold all my mom's jewelry. I got rid of all of her most precious, like I saved one thing. And I feel so much freer and lighter of it.
Mhm.
My 2
Think
cents.
about what that really means. What are you doing? You're getting rid of everything that has no meaning to you anymore. You're getting rid of the past that doesn't even exist anyway. You're getting rid of a lot of stuff because you're making room for something completely new and something completely different to come in. And it doesn't even have to look the same or be the same. The only thing I want to do is take my crystals with me, but that's
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
people and my crystals, but
Right.
Mhm.
Totally. That's why I came back to California. I was like, my people are here. And
if
I
I
think,
can't, I can't.
right. And the weird thing is the thing that I've been experiencing in moving forward down this path that I don't really know where it's leading or going is that the old things that brought me pleasure, joy, soothed me, comfort, you name it, they don't really work anymore. And so all
Mhm.
that stuff doesn't have the same zing, doesn't have the same, it doesn't, it's hollow. It's just hollow. And so I'm like, that pleasure, that soothing, that joy, it's all got to be in me. It's not something external, right? Back to that whole idea of it's not external. So,
Yeah, I always look at everything in an energetic sense, because that's just how I see things, energy and frequency and vibration. And truly,
Oh,
it feels like, I mean, many of us resonate with this. Dina, you just said moving into a small house on a plot of land. I feel like pretty much everyone has said that at one point in the last couple of years, probably since COVID, because we're drawn to this getting away from the intense energy that's not serving, getting away from cities, getting away from opportunities that are stunting opportunities that are needed for us in that space.
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, I was so thankful to have that opportunity. And I did move away from the city, and now I'm on some property and not near hardly anybody. And just that space alone to be kind of alone, I guess, in a way, but I'm able to connect on these higher vibe,
yes.
energetic ways that it's just allowing so much more that I could have even had the potential to do in a city, because the energy doesn't match. It just doesn't match anymore.
Yeah.
So to physically move or physically remove things, it is a whole potential for so much to come in, like Tina was saying. It's very exciting.
I wish that, and this is my hope, this is what I want to manifest, is that like I don't want to have any attachments. I really don't. Like I wish I could just go somewhere and then like what I needed is just there. Like I really would love that, because I don't have much stuff, to be honest. And then I noticed I was walking around my house and like, oh, that's not mine. That's not mine. Just the house itself is mine. But it's like somebody's artwork or somebody's thing. But I hear you. I feel like that is something, because we're not physical anyway. I mean, I think we're just energy beings, and we're realizing these are just tools that we've used along our path. So I'm right in alignment with you, Dina. If we didn't have to have anything and just show up and be, I'd be so happy.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing because it's not, and I will give a stupid example, which really like, I'm like, somebody's telling me something. I live in this neighborhood. It's a beautiful neighborhood. I'm fortunate. I'm grateful, blah, blah, blah. But I got a letter from our HOA, okay, telling me that the gold lettering on my mailbox was not gold
Oh
enough.
no.
And I'm like,
oh, geez.
are you kidding me?
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, people are starving around the world and they're worried about the gold on my mailbox, which was
I
still
know.
gold, just not gold enough. And that's when I was like, so the universe is trying to tell me something. Because I was like, that is so not me. Like, yeah. So I said that's
Rose wanted to say something to you, Dina. She said, me too. I've been downsizing for 2 years for our upcoming move next year. My spouse is techie guy and it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So
I remember Rose talking about that she was preparing, and yeah, the tech stuff, it all piles up. Or you save an Apple box because it's nice, like an Apple computer box, because oh, it's so nice, I should save it. I have a thing from being Italian. I cannot throw a bag away to save my soul. I've got to like help myself.
Well, it is a really refreshing, Pamela said refreshing to purge, but it also allows for things to come into your reality. So when you keep things hoarded or you keep things stuck, when you clear it and get it out, it does bring, allows for space to come in and start something new.
Well, it's because it's got an old vibe to it, and it's not like time-wise vibe, old vibe.
Right.
It just no longer is aligned with what you're shifting into. And what's really cool about that is whatever comes up next then is what's really aligned with you. No matter what, whatever that is, it's aligned with you. You're calling that in and you're just making space for it. Which at some point we won't even need that. Like I like Danielle, your version. I think that's what's coming. I think you just made a prediction right there. Just going and
let's just go.
Yeah, and it's.
I want to go someplace and not have to pack and have all the food. I'm just like, we're going.
Yep.
And I'm still finding the portal, and when I let y'all know where the portal is and it's safe, we're going together.
Oh, we'll all join.
That's right. We'll traverse our way. We'll hold hands and jump. All right. Well, we just finished and Dina left. She had to get to another meeting, but I want to thank you guys for joining us today. This made my heart feel so full. And especially for those that are just figuring it out. If this is where, you vibrate and you like to have these kind of conversations. But we do them once a month on the last Friday. So what's June is It'll be the 27th. I don't think I have any plans, so I plan on doing it at the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just to remind anybody that who would like to meet again, there is also the 5 p.m. meeting in the community meeting in the meeting room. And then, just don't forget, if you are someone who's watching on YouTube, to check out spirit-calling.com so you can be part of these awesome conversations. But I want to thank you guys all again, and I hope to see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Have a
Bye.
lovely
Bye.
weekend.
Big love.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.